and welcome to Mrs. D's Baking TV. I'm Mrs. D, and this is my new kitchen at this angle. Even though I've been in this home for over a year, I've been trying to be more consistent with my channel, but the whole lighting situation has been a challenge. But welcome to my ta-da! New studio, my new kitchen. Guys, today I am going to prepare for you a pumpkin spice streusel pound cake. I think that's what I'm going to call it. And the reason that I say I think that's what I'm going to call it is because I made up this recipe. So if you watch my previous video, I made some delicious scones, pumpkin spice scones. They were not cute. Can I repeat? They were not cute, but they were delicious. They were absolutely delicious. And the reason that I say they were not cute is because, guys, if you've watched my channel before, you know that I like preparing recipes for the first time on camera in front of you guys. I know, right? No testing, no nothing. Because I want to show you guys that baking is a joy. Baking is easy, okay? So today I've got some leftover pumpkin. So I said, what could I do with it? And because I have a ladies gathering at my church, I figured, I was like, let's use them as my taste testers. So follow along today as I prepare for you a pumpkin spice pound cake, or shall I say a pumpkin spice pound cake with a pecan streusel filling. Yeah, that sounds really fancy. The ingredients that you'll need for this recipe: you'll need all-purpose flour. I'm using unbleached. You'll need baking soda, baking powder, sugar, sour cream, milk, egg, and butter. Now, the recipe, normally in my pound cakes, I'll use unsalted butter. All I had today was salted butter. So I'm going to eliminate the additional teaspoon of salt because I'm using salted butter. And also make sure that your egg, sour cream, and your milk are all at room temperature. For our pumpkin pecan streusel filling, we are going to use pumpkin spice. Actually, I'm using this pumpkin pie spice here. And you're going to need pecans and a little bit of vanilla. And I forgot to tell you, you're going to need vanilla in your cake batter also. And some of the gadgets that you'll need a stand mixer. But if you don't have a stand mixer, you can use a handheld mixer. I'm not sure which one of these cake pans I want to use. Probably I'm going to use this one because it's a little larger. But I love the profile on this one. Look at that. Everybody gets the same little slice of cake. So I'm not sure which one of these I'm going to use. Ooh, that was loud. But I'll use either one of these in my recipe today. And you'll always need some type of rubber scraper or something to scrape down your bowls to make sure that all of your ingredients are thoroughly mixed. And as I'm recording this, I'm looking at my cute little chicken in the background. I need to find my pumpkins. That would be a better backdrop. Yep, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my pumpkins down because it is pumpkin season. Yep, there it is. Oh, and I got a little gourd too. Let's just take down the pumpkins. Yay. Hey, little pumpkin. Goodbye, little chicken. Well, is this a chicken or a hen? I'm not sure. Isn't that cuter for our video? Let's get started. So, to our mixing bowl, we're going to add granulated sugar and our softened butter. And we are going to cream these two ingredients together until the yellow butter and the white sugar turn a pale color. Cream, get it? So don't rush this portion of the recipe because if you don't cream that butter and that sugar the right amount of time, then I don't think your cake will be as fluffy. So don't rush this portion of your recipe. Okay, from time to time, you're going to need to stop your mixer and scrape down the bowl just to make sure that all of the butter and sugar is well incorporated. Now, I'm going to do this probably a total of about 10 minutes. Let's just see what it's looking like. I've noticed sometimes you use different types of butter. The temperature of the butter can determine sometimes how long you need to do it, but just take your time, like I said. Okay, I think that's good enough. It's nice, lice. No lice. It's nice and fluffy. Let me let you see what that's looking like. See that? nice and cream so that the color. Now, our next step, we are going to add our eggs one at a time to our butter and sugar mixture. I'll tell you this. Now, if we were using more butter and more sugar, we probably have to blend this a little longer. But in this recipe, I only used I think a cup and a half of butter. So let's go ahead and add our eggs one at a time. I'm going to crack my eggs in this bowl because I don't want any shells in my mixture. If I make a mistake and get a shell in this bowl, I can get it out without ruining my butter and sugar. You know what I decided? I am going to add my vanilla before adding my eggs. That's what I'm going to do. Yep. And I'm going to use probably about a teaspoon Nielsen Massey. You know, this is my favorite vanilla. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to the bowl. Let's see. It's about a teaspoon. Yes, about a teaspoon. That smells so good. Adding our eggs. Oh, okay. And to our flour mixture, we are going to add our baking powder and our baking soda. And we're going to blend that together until we'll incorporate it. I'm also going to add my liquid ingredients together, my room temperature sour cream. I'm going to add that to my milk and go ahead and mix that together because at this stage, we're going to mix our wet and our dry, and we want to always start with our dry ingredient and end with our dry ingredient. Guys, I just officially had a blooper. We're making a pumpkin spice cake, right? We need to add our pumpkin spice to our flour mixture. We could add it to the streusel, but remember, well, you can't remember because I didn't tell you yet. We're going to add pumpkin puree to the streusel mixture because I'm coming up with this recipe on the fly, okay? So let's go ahead and add our pumpkin spice to our flour mixture because, like I said, we want all of our dry ingredients mixed together. Let's mix that together and act like we did that a couple of minutes ago. Pumpkin spice smells so good. I had no idea that I loved pumpkin spice, but it's all the warm spices put together. I was wondering, instead of me purchasing this pumpkin pie spice blend, can you see that? Purchase that from, I think Walmart. Instead of purchasing this, I was like, I probably have all these spices in my cabinet. I could probably put this together myself. But because I don't have on my glasses, I can't see what it says. But you know what? That may be another video. I may put together my own pumpkin spice blend so that I don't have to buy this. So let's continue. Remember, we're going to start with our dry and end with our dry. Yes, but before we do that, we are going to add our milk and our sour cream. Gonna stop the mixer and scrape down our bowl. And I've already turned on my oven to preheat at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna do my final mixing by hand. Oh yeah, look at that. There's still some unblended cake batter at the bottom. Okay, and we'll set this to the side and let's get started on our filling. So I've got some pumpkin pie puree here, brown sugar, and pecans. And I'm gonna add just a little of the pumpkin pie spice to the puree. I'm making this recipe up as we're going along. So add a little, just a sprinkle to see. That's a pinch. We're gonna add our brown sugar. And you know what? A little vanilla too. Just a little, just a little. And then we're gonna add our pecans. This is about, I think about 3/4 cup of pecans, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, and then you saw the spices that I added. But I broke the pecans just a little bit because I didn't want them to be whole. Okay, so we're gonna add those pecans. See, now my mind is racing. Probably could have roasted the pecans too, so that you could, the flavor would come out in the pecans. Next time. Mix that together. And now it's time to get this cake put together in the pan. So what we're gonna do, we're going to take our batter, we're gonna put half of it in the pan, and then we're gonna top our batter with our filling, and then top the rest of the cake with the rest of the batter. Okay, and then let's make sure this is all of the batter is covering our filling. And we are done. See that? Okay, let's place our cake in the oven. I've got my oven thermometer in my oven like I always do. So let's bake this for about 45 minutes. I'll check it at 40 and see. In the center of the rack, the cake is ready. Why am I singing? I don't know, but the cake is ready. Look at that. I'm gonna allow the cake to cool in this pan for 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna turn it out on the cake plate, and then I'm gonna let you know what's coming up next. I made a simple syrup. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. I made a simple syrup to top this cake because I want it to stay moist. Now here comes the tricky part. You never know whether or not your cake is going to come out of the pan. Let's see. We're listening for the thud. It's pretty hot, but I got this. Oh, wow. Look at that. Okay. So I do see some of the streusel peeking through, which is fine with me. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. Oh my goodness, this smells so good. So, like I was saying, I made a simple syrup. So I'm gonna go ahead and place a simple syrup. Now let me tell you what a simple syrup does. A simple syrup helps your cake to stay moist. So here's my simple syrup. A simple syrup is 1-to-1 ratio of water and sugar. Now what this is going to do is this is going to allow my cake to stay moist because I have a couple of days in between when I'm sharing this and when I'm baking it. If you're sharing your cake right away, it's not necessary that you use a simple syrup, but it helps. Does it add flavor to the cake? It does. And with that being said, you can add a little vanilla extract to your simple syrup. This simple syrup will stay fresh in this airtight container that I have here for up to 3 weeks. I just thought about something. Does this not look like a pumpkin? This looks like a pumpkin. Oh, okay, Mrs. D, cut the cake. Cut the cake. Oh, it's pretty moist. Oh. Yay! Look at that. Okay, I can see. Whoa. I can see the streusel that we added in the middle. See there? Yes. Let me turn the cake so you can see it. You see it? You can really see it on this side. Although this is my recipe, I'm gonna be honest. I don't have time to mess around and not be honest. Tell y'all to try this recipe and it's not good. Let's see what we're working with. I'm gonna try it without the streusel first to see what the actual cake tastes like. It tastes like a vanilla cake. So I don't taste a lot of the pumpkin pie spice, but let's see now with the streusel, which is the reason why we did all of this. Mm. Oh my goodness. I did that, y'all. I did that. This cake is delicious. All I need, some coffee, some black coffee, because this is enough sugar. Well, there actually isn't a lot of sugar in this cake, but all I need is a cup of coffee. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is the next day. I'm looking at this cake and I said, there is something missing. There is something missing. What can elevate this cake? And then I thought about it. I had just a little of my maple glaze left over from my recent pumpkin scone video. I added a little powdered sugar to thicken it up a little bit, and I am going to add it to this cake just to elevate it just a little bit, just a little bit. This is so good. Oh my goodness. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today in my kitchen on Mrs. D's Baking TV. Thank you for watching the video from beginning to end so that you can see the taste test and the results. Listen, I will list the recipe that I came up with in the description box. But you'll see, I think at the beginning of the video, I'll probably list what the ingredients are. Listen, it's pumpkin season. Bake with your family. Guys, be blessed. Bye. Pat myself on the back. That's good.